其實我哋每一個人都可以做一個嘅宣教士喺我哋嘅社區當中。
Actually, each one of us can be a missionary in our community.
早幾年咧有一本書叫做《Bless》。
A few years ago, there was a book named called Bless.
最近我同 Pastor Ada 去一個嘅教會牧養嘅研討會。
And I recently went with Pastor Ada to this conference.
佢介紹呢本書嘅一個作者亦都講解好多嘅方面。
The author and also other people explained the content of this book.
好簡單嘅啫，我哋要成為做祝福社區嘅教會，你同我都可以喺呢度做嘅。
It's very simple to be a blessing to the community.
第一
is to
你由禱告開始，
begin with prayer.
得唔得？識㗎啦，
Can you do
一定識㗎。你會祈禱，究竟神俾邊個你？你為邊個去祈禱？
Begin with prayer. Pray for whom God has sent you to pray.
然後又係好能夠做嘅就係專注嘅聆聽。
Next, listen.
留心啦，有時我哋報道咧，第一件事就係睇下講啲咩俾佢聽。
And sometimes we want to tell people the gospel is just what we talk and we just talk.
見一兩次面，第三次已經覺得係未講，就好似未完成任務咁樣嚇。
And sometimes, like a couple of times, we see the people, we have to tell them every single thing we know.
調翻轉，你
But
聽下
actually,
先，
we start with listening
認識對方先。
to get to know that person.
好似耶穌去到各個地方，佢了解咗嗰度嘅人嘅病或者佢哋嘅需要，先明白佢哋先。
It's like what Jesus did, is that he went through the cities and the villages to know what the needs of the community, of the people first.
然後呢樣梗係我哋中國人最識㗎啦，
And Chinese love to do this.
餐飲款待。
Eat!
你如果唔識去款待，你都識被款待啊！
If you don't know how to cook, you can go to someone's house to be cooked for.
咁第四個樣嘢就係全人嘅服侍，各方面嘅服侍佢。
Fourth is to serve.
咩意思咧？
What does it mean?
身心靈嘅服侍，
Body, mind, and spirit serve, and in these aspects.
唔好淨係靈心身。
It's not just spirit, heart, and body.
我哋係好關心人嘅靈魂，
Yes, we are concerned about people's spirits,
但
souls.
係剛才嘅經文提醒我哋，耶穌就係先了解咗身心嘅需要，然後人嘅心就打開，佢就可以去服侍嗰個靈嘅需要。
But with Jesus' example, we can see that he went to see the physical needs, the needs of their heart, before we go into their souls.
點解我哋成日鼓勵大家師友同行呢？
Why do we always encourage about mentoring, that we walk together?
我哋識得點樣同人哋師友同行，我哋又會識得同其他嘅慕道嘅朋友，我哋嘅社區嘅人建立朋友嘅關係，建立信任，然後先進入嗰個靈嘅關係裏。
Because the more we learn how to walk with our brothers and sisters, the more we learn how to walk with people in our community, to get to know them, to listen, and to understand them.
最後就係生命故事。
The last is story.
你嘅生命有咩故事啊？
What's your life story?
嗰個講員提我哋話，
The author reminded us,
大家都係好中意咧去邊間餐廳啊，
and sometimes we say, oh, which restaurant do you like to go?
去邊度旅行啊，
Where do you want to go for vacation?
買咩啊
What do you like to buy?
？Google 啊
Google it.
，Google 我睇下啲 review。
Google, look at the reviews.
最近咧，我成日問人，可以買呢樣，可以買嗰樣，問啲專家。於是佢覆我咧就係話唔使㗎 Pastor Hilbert， 你咧就上網就睇到嗰樣嘢之後，你睇下1萬個 review 啊，定係即係一個 review 嗰啲，一個 review 你當佢造假嘅，1萬個都係5個星嘅，嗰啲你唔使問我，你都可以買得啦，係咪？
Recently, I've been looking for something, and the professionals tell me, no, you just go on Google. If they have 1,000 or 10,000 reviews and they still get 5 stars, don't ask me, just go ahead.
你嘅生命充滿咗神嘅愛，
If your heart, if your life is full of God's love,
神俾你好多嘅恩典，
and God has given you so much grace,
你會寫啲咩 review 俾神？
what would you write as a review to God?
你只係會覺得，哎呀，我唔寫啦，
Oh, no, I don't bother it.
還是你真係會寫？
Or maybe you really would like to put it down,
呢個
what
就係
God
你
has done for
呢
you.
個就係你生命嘅故事。
This is your life story.
喺小組裏邊，我哋都鼓勵大家講生命故事，就係亦都可以訓練大家就去講呢啲屬靈嘅經歷。
So in small group, we also encourage each other to give life story, and that's the That's the practice.
所以祝福社區嘅教會難唔難做啊？
To be a blessing of the community as a church, to bless the community, is it hard? Is it difficult?
頭3樣真係你同我都唔使訓練都做到㗎咯喎。
Well, look at the first 3 things. We don't need any training, and we be able to do this.
唯一就係神俾我哋2個耳仔1把口，
The only thing is that God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth.
聽2次先講1次，
So we listen twice as much as we speak,
最好聽4次先講1次，
maybe 4 times than that.
然後就去明白認識咗個人。
And then we get to know the person and to understand them.
而我哋咧喺手上邊，我唔知道正話入嚟嘅時候，司事有冇派到嗰張卡嚇？大家如果俾我睇下，帶咗張叫做誰是我的鄰舍嘅卡。
When you came in, the ushers should have given you who is my neighbor
我想問
card.
你一個問題，
I want to ask you a question.
中間係你
If the middle is you,
喺你嗰條街、你個社區，你寫唔寫到你行出去你間屋之後咧，有其他8個嘅街坊或者朋友你識㗎？
in where you live, and on the same streets in your neighborhood, can you actually put 8 families or 8 names of your neighbors?
呢個就係你嘅挑戰啊！
That's your challenge.
神擺你喺嗰度唔係白擺嘅。
Because God doesn't just put you there by accident.
而家阿 Bernie 師母咧，佢讀完書啦。咁呢個暑假咧，我哋其中一個最大任務就拎住張卡，識晒我哋起碼填咗8個鄰舍落去先。
So my wife has just finished some studies, and now we are working hard onto walking on the streets and get to know at least 8 people to put down on the card.
又或者你嘅親戚裏邊，
Maybe it's among your families and
你嘅同學，
relatives. Maybe it's your classmates or
你嘅同
schoolmates.
事，
Maybe it's your colleagues, coworkers.
你嗰啲去學校裏邊嗰啲父母，
Maybe it's the parents whom your kids' parents.
所以就可以寫落去，
Just write their names down.
為佢哋祈禱。
Pray for them.
祈下你就會見到神點樣帶領你去聽佢哋。
As you pray, I'm sure that God will be guiding you how to approach them.
你喺飲杯咖啡、食個晏晝嘅時候，可以多認識對方。
Maybe you can have a coffee time, a donut, afternoon tea time, then you can get to know each other more.
就讓我哋能夠幫助對方嘅身心嘅需要，
And so that we can get into people's lives.
以致心靈係預備好嘅。
And that it's being nourished and prepared for by the Holy Spirit.
然後聖靈就可以工作喺佢哋嘅生命。
And the Holy Spirit will continue to work in them.
大家記得我上個禮拜啦，當我哋睇耶利米書嘅時候，
And so last week when we look at the book of Jeremiah,
耶利米嘅書裏邊18章講到神係陶匠，我哋就係佢嘅器皿。
Jeremiah 18, it talks about that
神係
God is the potter and then we are clay.
我哋每一個人都有神獨特嘅塑造，係咪啊？
And so every one of us is being shaped very uniquely by Him.
所以神點樣塑造你？
So how is God shaping you?
你有啲乜嘢嘅經歷？
What have you experienced?
喺靈裏邊，你點樣去追求神？喺當中點樣經歷神？
How have you been seeking God in your life experience?
所有呢啲都係能夠去服侍別人，
This is all can be used to serve others.
係你先至可以去做。
And it's only by you, can only be done by you.
因為神揀選你，
Because God has chosen you.
神塑造你，
God has shaped and molded you.
你就按住佢所塑造嘅
And you go according to what He has shaped
去服侍佢。
to serve.
所以我哋需要翻去祈禱。
So we have to go back to prayer.
我哋諗一諗，你作為一個獨特嘅器皿被神塑造，
You being a unique instrument, being shaped by our God.
我哋點樣一齊去彰顯主嘅愛呢？
How are we going to magnify Christ's love together?